So we've confirmed that we can authenticate our requests, and what we'll do now is we'll just go ahead and add an authorization policy so that our entire app is going to need to be authenticated against unless we tell it otherwise. So the default is going to be to require authentication. And what we can do, let's just clean things up at the top. And we'll go to our startup class to do this. And where we've got our add controllers, we're going to add it inside here. So let's just move the Fluent validation down. And inside the parameter for add controllers, we're going to add some options. And inside here, what we're going to do is create an authorization policy. So we're going to say var policy equals a new authorization policy builder, and we'll need to bring this in from ASP.NET Core authorization. And then we're going to say require authenticated user, and then we're going to say build. And below this, we can say opt.filters, and then we can say add, and then we can pass in a new authorization or a new authorize filter, and we can pass through our policy. And we'll also need to bring in authorize filter from ASP.NET Core MVC authorization. And what this effectively does is ensures that every single endpoint in our API now requires authentication, unless we tell it otherwise. So let's go to our activities controller. And we don't need the authorize attribute here anymore. But what we do need to do in our account controller, if we want to allow users to log in, then they're going to need to be able to hit this endpoint anonymously. So what we can do at the controller level is we can add an attribute and we can say allow anonymous in our account controller. And therefore, all of the endpoints that we create inside here, a user will be able to access anonymously. You cannot have authentication on an endpoint where a user doesn't yet have a token because they're trying to log in, of course. And what we'll find now, if we try and go back and get our activities without auth, now it's going to return a 401 unauthorized. So we'll need to send up our authentication header if we want to go and get the list of activities. So that functionality is added now. What we'll take a look at next is how we can register new users.